So we know sometimes we get out of bed and we're thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to be one of those days. And then in the end of the day, it is. And we find ourselves day after day in a funk. And it's like, oh my gosh, how in the world do we get out of a funk? How do we get out of just not feeling it anymore? And I know we've done videos on this before. However, today, a little bit new perspective, right? So the first thing is we got to realize when we're in a funk that we're actually in a funk. Because sometimes it's like, well, okay, I'm just not feeling it a little bit. But when we lose the forward momentum, we're like, oh, I've got to do something about it. And what is it that I can do to get out of the funk? So, first of all, we have to recognize we're in it. And once we recognize we're in a funk, who can you call? Who can you call and talk to now that can talk you out of it, that can give you some inspiration like right now? Who is it that you can touch base with that'll course correct you in the moment, where you can be very vulnerable, you can be honest, you accomplishing? Because a lot of times when we touch base with other people that are doing the things that we want to do, but we're not taking the action we need to take, we can be inspired by talking to somebody else. And I don't care if that's your coach, I don't care if that's somebody that you have set up as an accountability partner that you can check in with often. I have 3 different people that I check in with every week. In fact, there's 4 people I check in with every week. Why? Because I want to make sure they're on track as well as I'm on track, right? But it's all in different spaces. We're all in, we're doing different things. But having that person to check in with and having that individual where I can go, okay, here's where I'm at. What kind of work? What have you done? And if they're in a funk, we can help talk them through it. If I'm in a funk, they can help talk me through it, right? So who can you talk to? Number one, realize you're in a funk. Who can you talk to? Get on the phone with them, right? Get in communication right away. Number 2, your motivational playlist. I know we talked about it before. However, what's on your motivational playlist? Now, I talked to somebody tonight, and their motivational playlist is completely different than mine, which it should be, right? Because their emotional, playlist to get themselves out of a funk. I mean, this gentleman's like, look, these are the 4 songs I play, and by the time I'm done with I'm certainly out by the end of the 4th, right? For each individual. But what's that playlist that when you put it on, you're in the mood, you're going for it, right? By the time you're done listening to it, you're bouncing off the walls, you're just moving and ready to roll. Very, very important. Why? Get the blood flowing, get the oxygen back in the brain, right? So whether that's exercise to get somebody that's positive and ready to roll, right? Sometimes when we're in a funk, it's because we are worn out. We haven't taken a break. We haven't taken a step back, and we've just been going and going and going and going. And sometimes we're due for a break. So get a massage, go to the sauna, right? Sweat out your toxins in the sauna and get a massage, relax a little bit. It's okay to take a day off. So remind yourself that, yes, it's okay to take a day off. Just schedule it, right? Don't let it be one of those days where you've scheduled and you're just like, you know what, I'm just not going to do anything, and then don't do it. That would be a bad thing, right? You want to stay true to it, but schedule in yourself some time off. Schedule some time off. Go get a massage, sit in the sauna, sweat out the toxins, right? All right, now how about people steward leadership? The whole concept behind people steward leadership is to inspire leaders to embrace people stewardship so that their teams will take personal responsibility for their own growth and development. So what does it mean to embrace people stewardship? It just means that we put people first. We put people before things. Why is that important? Because when we put people before things, people will give us their head, their heart, and their hands. When we put things before people, because they're not working with a whole lot of passion or energy, they're just showing up, doing enough, just enough so they don't get fired, and we're paying them just enough so they don't quit, right? Well, we want to end that. We want to end that ridiculously poor leadership and move towards something more positive. All right, by the way, my 5M's course to increase and improve your personal leadership, to magnify your personal leadership skills, is a banner ad with everybody. Let's go. All right, number 5, touch base with the future. Write them out every single morning. Write them out every morning for a couple of weeks and see how much more you're inspired you are to go after them, to take the action to get to them, right? When we touch base with the future, What is our future going to look like a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 20 years from now? Because we take action today. And also, you can reverse that and go, whoa, 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 wait a minute. What if I don't take any action today? What if I don't take any action this week? What is my future going to look like in a month, in a year, in 3 years, in 5 years, right? We can play both directions. And again, we're thinking through the process, but touch base with the future becomes very, very important for motivation to get out of the funk. All right. Now, why am I even talking about this stuff? Because I've been contacted multiple times just today about how to get out of a funk when you're in it. So I thought I'd share with everybody at the same time that create a card, right? Create a card with all of the ways that you personally get out of a funk, right? I learned this from Brendan Burchard, that if you want to get out of a funk, there are certain things that you do that you're going to need to remind yourself to do step 1 through step 10, or today we're going through step 8, right? So that you know exactly how to get yourself out of a funk when you get in one. All right. Number 6, turn to your positive stack. But David, what's positive stack? Positive stack is where you take your journal and you just constantly write in it. You constantly write all of your wins. From birth until now, you record all your wins. And then we're going to continue to record 3 wins every single day. Why? Because we're stacking the positive. We're stacking the good that we've done. By the way, for those of you who are employed by somebody else, if you stack your top 3 wins every day from the day, a lot of times those are going to be from work too, right? So if we're stacking our wins from work, what happens? Oh, it's our 6-month annual, it's our 6-month review. Well, this and this and this and this and this. 3 of your best wins every day for 6 months equals an awful lot to talk about. And now 365 days of just flat getting after it. Tell me you haven't accomplished some amazing things in a year's time, especially if you're tracking your top 3 wins every single day. You go back and read that stuff out loud to yourself. By the time you're done, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to go. Let's do this thing, right? Excited, full of energy, ready to go. So turn to your positive stack. Becomes very important. What about number 7? Grace. Don't be so hard on yourself. Stop beating yourself up all the time. Sometimes we just have to take a step back and recognize the fact that we're just flat worn out from doing too much. So take the step back, take the day off, and then get back into it the next day, right? Shoot, take a week off, whatever it is for you, whatever you need to recover, take the time off, and then jump right back in and let's go. All right. And number 8, do one action item to build the momentum. What is one needle moving action that you can take right now in the moment that will help you to start build momentum towards where you need to be? All right. So again, what are they? How to get out of a funk? Number 1, who can you call? Right? Recognize you're in a funk. I'm in a funk. Oh my gosh, what can I do? Number 1, you can tell yourself today is going to be on the phone with them right away. Number 2, your motivational playlist. Get it on, play it loud, play it often, and let's get that oxygen moving in the body, right? So which leads us to number 3, which is movement. Move, 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 move. Number 4, go get a massage. Go sit in the sauna. Get some of the toxins out of your body. A lot of times when we're in a funk, it's because of the garbage we've been eating for the last 3 days or 4 days or 5 days, right? The way we feel today is based on what we ate 72 hours ago. So if we want to feel better in 3 days, we better change the way we eat today, right? Change what's going in here and what's going in here so that we're way better off a couple of days down the road, okay? So number 4, massage. Go get a massage, sit in the sauna, sweat some of those toxins out, right? Number 5, touch base with your future. Touch base with your future. Go visit your goals. Revisit them. Where are you headed? What are you doing? What are you going to accomplish 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road? All right, number 6, turn to your positive stack. Turn to your positive stack. I know, I'm going to beat it like a dead horse. Why? Because common sense is not common practice. Common sense says that if we write it down every day and if we review it often, then we'll stay in a positive state. Let's turn common sense into common practice. How about that? All right. Number 7, don't be so hard on yourself, right? Don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself a break. Grace, right? Grace. You give grace to other trauma survivors, and you know you're a trauma survivor, so why not give yourself some grace as well? And then number 8, and as we do that, we'll be good to go. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow.